This is Alia and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious dessert that is very popular in the Middle East and also in Morocco. It's called Kanafeh. Kanafeh is basically a pie made of shredded filo dough. It's filled with cheese or sometimes cream, and it's served warm with the sugar syrup on top of it, flavored with orange blossom water or rose water, and the cheese oozes out of the piece that's served to you. It's absolutely to die for. It could look intimidating if you've seen it in Middle Eastern shops, but it's super easy to make, and of course today I'm going to show you how to make it step by step. So you're ready? Let's start! There are two main steps in this recipe. First, we're going to make the syrup. It's just basically water and sugar and flavored. It's very simple to make. We make it first so it has time to cool down. And the second step is to make the Kanafeh. So now let's see how to make the syrup. To make the syrup, pour the water in a saucepan, add the sugar, and cook on medium heat. Let the sugar cook until it's completely dissolved in the water and it starts bubbling. As you can see, the syrup has started bubbling. We're going to continue cooking it for around 5 minutes on medium heat. After 5 minutes of cooking the syrup, you can see it becomes thicker. So now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and 1 tablespoon of orange blossom water. And of course you can replace the orange blossom water with rose water. And let the syrup cook again on medium heat for another 2 minutes. Our syrup is ready. We're going to turn off the heat and let it sit here while we're making the Kanafeh. We're going to serve the Kanafeh with the syrup at the end. To make the Kanafeh, we will need katif. Katif is basically shredded filo dough. So this is the pack I got. You could get it from Oriental stores, Middle Eastern stores, or you can buy it online if you're living in the US. It's basically just shredded filo dough. If you don't have it, just take filo dough and you can do your Kanafeh with it. The thing is, because it's shredded, it has a different texture and it's crunchier and thinner. But hey, if you don't have it, try filo dough, it's fine. So first we're going to shred the katif. There are two ways of making this. You can shred it by hand, or you can shred it by food processor. Well, I'll go for the easy way and shred it with the food processor. So by hand, you basically just have to work it out with a little bit of butter and shred it like this. So let's make it with the food processor, much easier. For the food processor, I'm using the sharp edge. This one, very sharp. Make sure you don't touch it with your fingers. And I'll basically just put the katif in the bowl. And then I'm going to pulse it. While I'm pulsing it, I'm going to add a little bit of melted butter. And then continue pulsing it. It's so thin and well shredded. Much easier than done by hand. After shredding the katif, we're going to put them in a flat pan and cook them on medium heat for a few minutes. The reason we're doing this is to make them a little crispier, which makes a huge difference in the texture of the Kanafeh. You'll get a crispy katif with melted cheese. Amazing. You don't have to do this step, but it's a really nice step for texture improvement. So this will take around 4 minutes. You will see that the butter will dry up and the katif will get very nice light golden color, and they actually smell different. They smell like roasted, which is so yummy. The other main ingredients in making the Kanafeh is of course the cheese for the filling. We need to use sweet cheese. Sweet cheese is basically a cheese that is not too salty. So you could find sweet cheese in Oriental stores. They do sell it specifically for Kanafeh, for making Kanafeh. Or if you don't have an Oriental store around you or you can't find sweet cheese, you could use similar cheeses like mozzarella or ricotta cheese, or even mix half-half. So you can have half mozzarella, half ricotta cheese, and it will be absolutely fine. You can also use cream cheese. So whatever cheese that is not too salty and that melts easily. So once you get your cheese, you need to grate it. And so I'm just using a simple grater and grate it in the big holes. Just like that. For more flavor, mix your cheese with 1 tablespoon of orange blossom water. You can also use rose water instead of orange blossom water. So we're flavoring the syrup, but we're also flavoring the cheese. Now all our ingredients are ready. All we have to do is assemble the Konafa. The top of the Konafa is usually red, and that's because of colorant. You can actually buy the Konafa colorant from an Oriental store. It's basically orange reddish. If you don't have it, you could use a liquid colorant, or you can just skip it. It doesn't really matter. So if you're using a Konafa colorant or like a powder colorant, you need to put a piece of butter in your baking pan and put some of the colorant on top like this. Then, using the piece of butter, basically spread the colorant all over your baking pan. So we're using the grease of the butter to spread the colorant. Just make sure the colorant is evenly spread, like that. So we have a nice surface. Okay, colorant ready. So the first layer is, of course, the katif. So spread the katif like this. We roasted them a little bit, so they're crispy a little bit now. That's good. So press on the katif with your hands, the palms of your hands, to make an even layer. Now add a layer of cheese on top of the katif. Here's my layer of cheese. Now I'm going to cover it again with a thin layer of katif and close the pie. And we're done. Now the Konafa is ready for baking. First, preheat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit degrees, then bake the Konafa on the middle rack. The Konafa is ready. I baked it for around 45 minutes at 350 Fahrenheit degrees. Then I broiled it for a few minutes to make the top of the Konafa a little bit deeper golden brown. As you can see, it's super ready. So what you do now is take a big plate, cover the Konafa, and flip it. When the Konafa is ready and it's on the big plate, you can actually pour the simple syrup on top of the Konafa. What I like to do is serve it on the side so people can add enough syrup as much as they like. If we don't finish it and we cover it and we keep it for the next day, it doesn't get too soaked with the syrup. So preferably serve the syrup on the side and then people can add what they want on top. So let's get a piece of this yumminess. And now I'm ready to taste this. See, the cheese is melted, completely melted. You can actually serve it cold, but I prefer to serve it warm. So you can serve it cold or warm. But when it's right out of the oven, the cheese is oozing out of it like this. And you get the cheese softness with the crispy dough. It's just amazing. And the syrup, best dessert ever. Bon appétit!